Prime Time Local News, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Prime Time Local News. Connor Chan and Abby St. John here. Lots on the go today in terms of local stuff here on the show, including our question of the day today. It seems like it's National Day for every day, so we asked you, is it a little excessive having all those types of national days? Like today's National Call Your Doctor Day. I didn't call my dentist, but I mean, I do appreciate everything that she does.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bit excessive, but you know, the National Sibling Day, the National Best Friend Day, I think those are nice because, you know, it gives you an excuse to, you know, appreciate the people that you love in your life, but
absolutely,
it's a little excessive.
Fair enough. Well, we're gonna have this discussion a lot more later on the show, but right now let's send over to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Thanks, guys. We are back here once again talking about the Just Cruising Show and Shine and Car Rally. Now, we talked a little bit about what that does entail here on the weekend, but this hour we are also going to look at the MS Society, and we're going to see how MS affects Canadians daily, a few stats about MS in Canada, and also where this money that is being raised this weekend will go to. So we're going to have a little bit more back from here about the Just Cruising Show and Shine, but first we are going to go back into the studio where Abby has a look at your local news.
Thanks, Eric. Well, fire crews were called to a basement fire earlier this afternoon. Crews responded to a call on the 29th block of 46th Ave where smoke could be seen coming from the basement.
Fire crews made entry and extinguished the fire quickly. It is contained at this time, and we're just continuing to do cleanup, and we'll continue on with our investigation.
There was no one home during the time of the fire, and no cause has yet been determined and is currently under investigation. Lloydminster City Council have officially approved an agreement between the City of Lloydminster and the International Association of Firefighters. The new agreement that has been in work since May of 2018 will see the number of full-time paid positions in the fire department go from 4 to 9, as well as up to 40 new paid on-call positions.
When it comes to full-time positions, paid on-call positions, those numbers are set by management. We can make recommendations based on NFPA standards for how many firefighters should be deployed to structure fires, commercial buildings, that type of thing. But at the end of the day, that's up to the city to decide.
The new agreement was developed based on different cities across Alberta and Saskatchewan that are similar to Lloydminster. The top priority for the city coming out of the new agreement is providing better fire protection.
I think that the intention is to provide the best fire protection that the city can afford to the residents and businesses of the community.
The 44-month term is set to run through December of 2021. The city plans to examine operational requirements through a fire master's plan in the coming months. A year away from the Saskatchewan Summer Games, the City of Lloydminster is getting ready to host, and that starts with a few donations and repairs, as our Jasmine King explains.
The Co-op Community Spaces program is putting forward $140,000 to the resurfacing of the track here at Armstrong Field.
The $140,000 donation from the Lloydminster and District Co-op will be helping the border city prepare for the 2020 Summer Games, as it will be going towards revamping the field near Lloyd Comp.
We are so excited. There were 800 applicants for funding this year across 4 provinces, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and British Columbia, and 26 applicants were chosen, of which Lloydminster, the Saskatchewan Summer Games Host Society, was one of those applicants, and they were chosen to receive the funding, and we are just so excited to have those funds come into this community.
The Summer Games Society has received funding from other businesses in Lloydminster, but knowing that they have the support of not only the community, but Co-op as well, means a lot to them.
Co-op is very generous, and they've been very supportive of a lot of community initiatives, so we are very grateful, and we're glad that we have them on our team, and they are going to be one of the leaders of coming up with some funding support for the event, so there'll be others that will follow, and we really appreciate the Co-op for stepping up.
The Co-op Community Spaces program helps community projects all across Western Canada to improve and protect them, which Armstrong Field will now be a part of.
The Co-op Community Spaces program really is about community, creating spaces in the community for everyone to share. And to take on a project like the resurfacing of the track around Armstrong Field is excellent, because it just, again, speaks to what that program is about in terms of creating a space that everyone can enjoy, not just for the summer games, but for our community today and beyond. So we're really excited about that.
The work on the track will be starting in July and ending in early August. Jasmine King, Primetime Local News.
A local woman is spreading awareness for earlier detection of prostate cancer in men. Linda Hegseth lost her husband of 50 years, 70-year-old Ola Hegseth, to prostate cancer back in November 2017. Since the passing of her husband, she has been a volunteer advocate for prostate cancer awareness for Prostate Cancer Canada in hopes of early detection in men.
I'm trying to get the word about early detection of prostate cancer, that men should really get a blood test in their early 40s and let their doctors follow them after that. I think a lot of people think that they don't need to do it till they're later, so it's never too early to get the test.
According to Prostate Cancer Canada, 1 out of 7 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their life. 14,000 men also die every year from prostate cancer. Those rates are on the decline because of earlier awareness and better treatment of the cancer over the years, something Linda is trying to achieve.
Get the test, simple test. I hope men will do that on their own. If not, I hope if their partners or their wives will make an appointment for them, get out there, and then just have their doctors follow them whenever they get regular physical exams.
Linda is urging all men over 40 to go and get tested. Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are here, and we've been talking about the Just Cruising Car Rally and their show and shine, and those proceeds will be going to the MS Society. And I'm joined now by Tammy Klotz of the MS Society. So first, can you give just a little bit of background as to the impact of MS in Canada?
Yeah, so Canada has one of the highest rates of MS. There is approximately 77,000 Canadians living with MS, which breaks down to about 1 in 385 individuals. And there is approximately 11 individuals each day diagnosed with MS.
And now, as we did mention, this event is raising money for the MS Society. So where does that money kind of go towards once it has been raised?
Yeah, so the money that we will be receiving as a recipient of the Just Cruising Car Club on June 15th will be going to our programs and services and advocacy with the Lloydminster chapter and research.
And now that some of those programs, it does come back to the community, which is great. So what are some of those maybe programs and advocacy that you guys do?
Yeah, so we provide the adapted yoga, and we also do some advocacy in regards to different research programs, and for housing, those type of things is what we try to look for our members that are living with MS.
All right, thank you once again for joining us. We're going to have a little bit more from here about the Just Cruising Show and Shine and Car Rally that will be happening, as we did mention, this Saturday, June 15th. But first, we are going to go back into the studio.
All right, thanks very much, Eric. Taking a look at current temperatures right now, 17 degrees right now. We are still we're starting to see some spits of rain right now with that high of 17 degrees with that cloud coverage hovering over Lloydminster right now. So take a look at the winds right now. Dropped down dramatically compared to last hour. We're down to close to 14 kilometers an hour there from that northeast. Taking a look at the records for this time of year, 27 degrees was our warmest on this day back in 1998, and 3 degrees our coolest back in 1985. Take a look at that satellite radar map. Not a whole lot of cloud coverage and precipitation as of right now for our area. Of course, it was much different compared to yesterday and the day before, where we saw a majority of the map covered in green, meaning that we could see some rain. And we will see some rain over the next couple of days here, which we'll showcase later in the 7-day forecast. 21 degrees right now in Cold Lake and Athabasca and Jasper. 22 degrees in Edmonton. 20s out in Red Deer, Rocky Mountain House, Edson, and Whitecourt as well. 20 degrees out in North Battleford, Saskatoon, Melfort, and Prince Albert. And 19 degrees right now for Meadow Lake. As we take a look at in-depth look to the regional temperatures right now, 8 degrees overnight North Battleford, expected with some showers, warming up to 25 degrees tomorrow with the sun and cloud mix there. 9 degrees overnight in Cold Lake with some cloud coverage, going to 24 degrees tomorrow with mostly sunny skies and a few clouds there. For us here in Lloydminster, Could see some, 10 degrees overnight with some cloud coverage. 24 overnight for the daytime high tomorrow, with some sun and cloud mix there. As we take a look at the next 3 days, 24 degrees for the daytime high, the 61% chance we could see some rain and possibly a thunderstorm to go with it. 22 degrees on Friday, where it should clear up a little bit more, but we still could see a 40% chance of some showers there with the sun and cloud mix there. But that's a first look at your weather forecast. We'll have more primetime local news after the break.
Welcome back. Well, dry is good for haying, but presents challenges leading up to the cut, and stressed plants can produce seeds early. A forage and beef specialist with Alberta Agriculture and Forestry says that it is a distinct disadvantage to allow plants to reach seed set when growing a forage stand for hay or pasture. Karen Lindquist said even when moisture is adequate later in the growing season, it is unlikely the mature plants will regrow. Lindquist says alfalfa plants that are cut when they reach 30 to 50% bloom, or grasses when they are almost ready to flower, will be encouraged to restart regrowth. By the time the rain arrives, she says the plant will be able to take full advantage of the sudden arrival of moisture to provide greater yields than the previous first cut. And that's all for eggs. Sports is next, but first, here's a look at your egg prices.
Every member of the City Centre Auto Body team has been through extensive training. We're constantly upgrading our team's education to reflect current collision repair technique.
The Barons track and field team had a solid showing in their first Saskatchewan provincial competition, which included 3 podium finishes. Josh Ryan has more on the weekend, highlighted by as close a finish as you'll see on the track.
After a long trip to Moose Jaw and back, Lloyd Comp had 3 medals at the Saskatchewan Championships upon return, including gold in the boys' 100-meter dash.
A little bit nerve-wracking. I felt like I was a little bit off, but my coach came out to me and he gave me a few words of wisdom and put me right in the zone. And I don't even remember half the race. I just remember crossing the finish line first, and it was just euphoria. I was so happy, and my coach came out on the track and he gave me a hug. It was great.
2 bronze medals were also won by Alex Deal in girls triple jump and Clayton Schmidt in boys shot put. Not their ideal color, but still a memorable end to high school athletics.
You know, going out practicing every day of the week, it means a lot to go out there and be able to perform.
Killam's accomplishment not only stands out for the medal's color, but that he did it against the reigning junior Canadian champion.
Yeah, I faced him when I was in grade 9, and that was one of my first years doing track, and he beat me by 10 meters in the finals. 10 meters and 100 meters is a mile.
His coach, however, wasn't surprised by the result.
Obviously, he was going up against a junior national sprinter, so it was going to be a tough competition, but you put him in that competitive environment, he's going to go after it, and that's what he did.
And as his last result in high school, Killam had another important lesson.
My seed, I was seeded like 4th in that, or 5th actually, I was seeded, and I ended up winning first, so you never know what's possible.
Josh Ryan, Primetime Local Sports.
The Lloydminster Reapers had their first home game of the season on Saturday. The home team was on the losing side of a hard-fought contest with the visiting Edmonton Pirates, who took it 47-39. Next home tilt for the Reapers is June 22nd against Leduc. And now we're going to go inside the CPCA.
Inside the CPCA, brought to you by the Canadian Professional Chuckwagon Association.
For this week's edition of Inside the CPCA and Primetime Local News, joining us is Brad McMahon. Unfortunately, no races this weekend here in Maskwacis, Alberta, as it was 3 straight days of rain. Brad, disappointment, but you look ahead to Dewberry. Great start of the season last weekend in North Battleford, and building on that this coming weekend.
Yeah, for sure. The horses were feeling good there in North Battleford, and we would have liked to run here, but just weather didn't cooperate for us. So looking forward to Dewberry and see what we have in store there.
Maybe talk about that start. And when you do spring training, you don't know what you're going to have. You got to be very happy going forward after that opening weekend that maybe you have the right mix.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that one main team that we had together there that took the 2 day monies, we had them kind of separated in spring training, putting in some new horses in the mix just to teach some newer ones. And the week before North Battleford, we decided to give them one last blow and put them all together, and we were real happy with how they were still gelled together, so we decided to try them in Battleford, and everything seemed to work all right for us.
You're in the top 3 in the point standings, means you're in the final heat in Dewberry up against Dale Mitzwing and Tom Baptiste. Maybe your goals this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, when you're with those guys, you know the times are going to be fast. So, I mean, you're just there to make sure everything stays clean in the barreling area and see how it plays out. Both those guys barrel real hard and fast, and we should all have good times if we all stay together. So.
Okay, and that is Brad McMahon coming up this weekend in Dewberry. Stop number 3 of the CPCA Pro Tour. After a weekend of rain here in Maskwacis, we'll be back at it for Father's Day weekend for stop number 3 in Dewberry.
Now we're going to go to Eric Bay, who was on location today.
Once again, we are here with Just Cruising, talking about their car rally and show and shine coming up this weekend, and Jerry Duhame joins me now. So first off, can you just give maybe a little bit of background as to what exactly you guys do have coming up here this weekend?
Well, it's probably one of the largest car shows between Edmonton and Saskatoon. We've been building up to this. This is our 12th year. We expect to have about 200 cars there. The big thing about this, it's a fully sponsored event, so there's no charge for the participants to come, no charge for the spectators. And we got stuff for kids to do. It's going to be a really big day.
And now you did mention no charge for this event, but if people do want to come out either as a spectator or to participate, how can they do so?
Very easy. It's nothing you need to do in advance. You can just show up on the day of. You can register at the event. The registration is open from 9 to noon. The show runs from 10 to 3. Then immediately after the show, we have the MS Car Rally. And the big thing to know is that it can be anybody. You don't have to show your car to be in the rally. You can just show up for the rally if you want. And we'll pretty much take anything that rolls. So you're more than welcome to bring anything you got.
All right, perfect. And now you did also mention that you guys do have some stuff going on for the kids. You see on the poster behind there's a kids zone. So can you talk a little bit about what exactly you guys do have?
Well, actually, we got lots of stuff going on for kids. We've stolen some of the ideas from the big shows in the U.S. We have what we call a make and take, where the kids can come and build a model and take it with them free of charge. We also have a coloring contest that we have sponsors for. And one of the cool things we have is the bouncy houses too, that'll be there as well. So lots of things going on for kids. We have a new event that we sort of introduced last year, of valve cover racing. So if you get an old valve cover or a new one and put some wheels on it, you can race and win some prizes.
All right, awesome. Thank you once again for joining us. We are going to have a little bit more back from here about the Just Cruising Car Rally and Show and Shine coming up here this weekend. But first, we are going to go back into the studio.
All right, thanks very much, Eric. Take a look at some other current temperatures right now. 17 still for us here in Lloydminster, 17 out in Marwayne, 18 for Bonnyville, 21 degrees for Cold Lake and Vegreville. St. Paul also sitting at 21 along with Vermilion, 22 degrees in Edmonton and Wainwright, 19 for Provost, 22 degrees out in Macklin, 18 for Maidstone, 20 degrees in North Battleford, 20 for Meadow Lake, 19 for Green Lake and Isle La Crosse, 18 in St. Walburg. As we take a look at some other Saskatchewan temperatures, La Loche and Buffalo Narrows are up 1 degree compared to last hour, sitting at 19 degrees now. Orange still sitting at 18 degrees, 18 out in South End, 17 degrees, in Flin Flon, 18 in Stony Rapids, 11 for Wollaston Lake, 14 in Uranium City, 22 for Fort McMurray, High Level, Peace River, and Grand Prairie, 19 degrees out in Slave Lake right now. Take a look at southern Alberta right now, 24 out in Medicine Hat, 23 degrees in Lethbridge. Calgary goes up a degree at 21 degrees. Banff drops 1 degree, sitting at 19 right now, and 20 degrees still remains the same for Coronation right now. As we shift over to southern Saskatchewan, 21 degrees out in Kindersley right now, 19 degrees in Swift Current, 17 out in Moose Jaw, 19 degrees in Regina and Yorkton, 20 degrees also out in Estevan as well. As we take a look at temperatures for tomorrow, fairly warm temperatures tomorrow as we're over the 20-degree mark, along with possibly, we could see some of those little showers I did mention earlier, like some spits of rain that we will see, but none of the rain. The rain might start a little bit later towards the weekend, as we'll showcase in just a bit in our the 7-day forecast. So 24 tomorrow for us here. here in Lloydminster, as well as out in Maidstone, Pierceland, Cold Lake, Green Lake, and Meadow Lake. 23 for Isle La Crosse and St. Walburg tomorrow. 25 degrees for North Battleford tomorrow. 26 out in Macklin tomorrow, as well as Provost. 25 is also for Vermilion, Wainwright, Vegreville, Edmonton, and Lac La Biche and Bonnyville. 24 is also out in Marwain and St. Paul to follow that as well. So here's the school day forecast outlook for tomorrow. 14 degrees tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. there, and 16 degrees at recess time, 20 degrees at lunchtime with those sun and cloud mixes. And by the time we reach home time, 24 degrees will reach the daytime high there with mostly sunny skies and a few clouds there. So here's a look at the next 7 days. 24 degrees on Thursday, where we could see that 61% chance of some showers with a thunderstorm to follow that. 22 degrees on Friday with mostly sunny skies and a few clouds. 20 degrees on Saturday with a 68% chance of some rain there. 22 degrees on Sunday with mostly sunny skies and a few clouds as we reach, of course, this weekend being Father's Day as well. 23 degrees on Monday with some sun, with mostly cloudy skies and a bit of sun, and then same results for Tuesday, where we could see just a little bit more sun both days with a 55 and 56% chance we could see some showers there. But that's a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have more primetime local news coming up.
Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here talking about Just Cruising and their show and shine and car rally that will be happening here this weekend. Jerry Duhame now joins me once again, and now we were talking a little bit off camera about some of the stuff you guys do have going on, and you did mention there's a chassis dyno there. So can you explain maybe to some people who don't know, I know I didn't, what exactly that is?
Well, it's a very unique piece of equipment. It comes on a trailer, and they'll put your car on there and chain her down, and they'll measure it for the horsepower, and you can make adjustments and see if you can increase the horsepower as well. So it's kind of a guy thing, a test-run thing to see, who's got the best horsepower in the show.
Just showing off a little bit. And now you did also mention you guys have an alcohol dragster there as well. So can you explain a little bit as to what that is?
Yes, Mark Van Ants and Dwayne Maxwell are going to bring their alcohol burning dragster, and they'll fire it up 2 or 3 times during the day. And if you've never heard one, it's quite a sound to hear, I'll tell you. It's pretty amazing.
And now as well, going on here this weekend, you guys will have some vendors out also at the Just Cruising Drag Show and Car Rally. So what exactly vendors do you guys have?
Well, we have all kinds of barbecue, some charity barbecue guys coming out to set up and have some food for vendors for the people. So you can come and spend the day there, not just 10 minutes. There'll be about 200 cars to take a look at. So there'll be lots of neat things to do. Like I said before, there's lots of kids' activities, and you'll find something for everybody there.
And now we did mention the registration goes on a little earlier. So what times can people register, and then what time is the actual show happening?
You can register anytime between 9 and noon, and then the show is from 10 to 3. And at 3 o'clock we have the awards, and then at 3:30 we start the car rally, and there's a barbecue after the car rally as well. So you can pretty much spend the whole day there if you want and have a lot of fun with us.
And now what are some of those awards you did just mention there that you guys will be having?
Well, we have the top 10 as voted by the participants in the show. We have the President's Trophy. Our president will be picking a vehicle. We actually invited the mayor out, who's going to have a mayor's pick. The mayor's going to pick a vehicle of his choice. And we have the People's Choice, which is really a big one. And then we have the Participant's Choice as well. So your vehicle will be picked by your peers. We have a couple of honorariums or honorable trophies. We have the best truck, which was donated by a family, the Hollington family. They're pretty happy about that. And even if you're bringing a bike, we have a bike trophies as well.
All right, thank you once again for joining us. We're going to have a little bit more back from here, but first we'll go back into the studio.
All right, so with our question of the day today, because today it seems like every day there's like a national day of something. Like today is National Call Your Doctor Day or National Corn on the Cob Day, which are real things. Go look them up if you're not too sure about that. So we kind of asked on Facebook, do you think there's a bit of an excessive amount of national days like this? Some of you are saying yes, but also some of you saying, no, it's not really. Maybe people just want to express themselves. We could all have a day devoted to ourselves. I don't know what it'd be like if there was a day devoted to one of us for that matter.
It's called your birthday.
Well, yeah, but
I understand what you're saying. It's a bit excessive, I think, especially with today being National Call Your Doctor Day. I think that's a bit extreme, and I don't think you should just be calling your doctor to say hi. But, those days like National Pizza Day or National Donut Day, socially, the world really seems to, get behind those kind of days. And I think it's interesting because, everyone has their preference, and it's interesting to talk about. And especially like with National Sibling Day, you get to express
Yeah.
just how much you love your siblings. So.
Fair enough. I mean, I expressed my love for my siblings sitting in plus 30-degree weather in Kelowna for her graduation,
Oh,
but
yes.
and getting sunburned in the process. But I mean, and also National Best Friends Day as well. I mean, my best friend didn't know until I texted him. He's like, we're kind of, and us being guys, being like, really? That's a thing? I'm like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, nationally.
Fair enough. But we're going to take a look at your pets of the day because it's that time of the show where we get to showcase pets and talk about how cute every pet is that we have here. So this is Mitzi.
Adorable. Great way to start
off. That's a nice face he's got there. This is Daisy, very sleepy,
adorable
cuddly bunny.
Love it.
Next up, we have Yeti, a very cute-looking guinea pig.
Yeah, I love what they're doing with his hair.
Oh yeah, very stylish. Look at, and then Miles, just chilling,
just
very
adorable.
very small-looking Chihuahua. Yeah. So adorable. And then this is Rocket, who sleeping.
Just sprawled out.
He's cute though. I mean, when animals sleep with their mouths open, you can't really tell, but they don't know. It's so cute though.
Yes.
Well, if your pet was shown on today, you're automatically entered to win a Lloydminster Pet Pack gift card, which we're giving away on Friday.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
I'm here with Becca from the SPCA, and she has brought in Xena, a beautiful dog. We mentioned that she was surrendered to the SPCA. How come?
She just, when she kind of was in her previous home, I think they had gotten her from somebody else. So from that time frame, something had happened that made her a little bit afraid of kids and other dogs. She's not a huge fan of other dogs. So for the most part at the shelter, she does really well. I think it's just longer spans. I think she would prefer to just be a single dog kind of home. Yeah. But you know, like I think she can tolerate it for a little bit, but then she gets grumpy. And she's about 5.5 years old, so I mean, I think she's a little bit set in her ways. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, if you have a lot of experience with dogs, I think she'd be. I think she'd be good with anyone. As she's a little bit energetic still, you know, even for 5.5. But yeah, so she's quite energetic, but just it's the little kids and other dogs that she seems to have an issue with.
That definitely sounds like my dog, who doesn't like anyone except my parents and refuses to have any other pets.
Yes,
but so she's only good with dogs for a little bit of time, correct?
Yeah, like at the shelter, she doesn't lose her mind when they pass her kennel unless they kind of come up to her and bark in her face sort of thing first. Otherwise, she's kind of just the calm older lady in the shelter kind of thing. But like I said, if it, you know, it was a younger one getting in her face kind of thing, I think she would get a little bit grumpy with them, unfortunately. But
so you would say, you know, kids ranging from 10 and up.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, you know, like the older ones just kind of know boundaries and things like that. Just and like I think really with her it might just be more of like a quieter, laid back household that she might be best in, or even a farm, you know, somewhere where she can go away if she's getting sick of people. Yeah. You know, I think she would be good. Like I said, she's still, you know, 5.5. She still has a lot of energy to go through, though.
And we were talking a little off camera about the upcoming couple events that you have going on, Street Fest and Canada Day. Would you like to touch on what you'll be involved in with all that?
Yeah, so we'll have a tent at both, and we'll be doing our glitter tattoos. So that's always fun. So that's the majority of what we'll be doing. Canada Day last year was quite, I don't want to say chaotic, but chaotic in a good way. It was a lot of fun. So we'll definitely I'll be contacting my volunteers for that one as well too, but we will be present for both doing our glitter tattoos.
And I believe you were present at Pet Expo. How was that for the first ever?
It was good. Yeah, no, it was really good. It was, you know, a lot of people were there with all of their, you know, products and things like that. And so it was neat. Saturday was quite busy, and you know, I didn't get to see much of the outdoor activities, but I kind of caught a glimpse of the dogs diving into the pools and things like that. So that was quite cool. Hopefully, you know, like they already have their vendor slips out for next year, so hopefully it's nicer, warmer weather. Especially for the dogs, right? You know, going swimming and stuff. But no, it was good. It was nice and busy. I had a lot of people to talk to all weekend.
And just briefly mentioning, in July you have a barbecue.
Yeah.
What kind of is involved with all of that?
Yeah, so Westridge GMC, they're putting it on for us. So we'll be there July 6th. So they're going to try and do a bunch of things from what they're telling me. So they came a few days ago just to do some interview type questions and get some footage of the shelter. So I definitely watch their page. They're advertising a lot for that as well too. So yeah, that's we'll be there July 6th, and it sounds like a good time. We'll try and have some dogs there as long as we have some fun guys to go. And, and yeah, we'll be hanging out there for a few hours.
All right, well, thank you for coming in, and thank you for bringing in Zena. And if you are looking to do some activities this summer, don't worry, because the SPCA has a bunch coming up, including Street Fest and Canada Day, and then their barbecue in July. So thank you again for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Pet Project is brought to you by Quick Pick Waste Disposal, Lloydminster's #1 waste and recycling hauler. Quick Pick is waste collection you can depend on.
Hey, I'm Justin with Boom 1019 and 93.7 Wayne FM, and here's what's happening. The 66th annual Wainwright Stampede is going down June 20th to the 23rd. It's going to be an incredible event. There are so many events. They got the Midway, they got the Chucks, plus they've got all the fun food that you love to eat. So make sure you check that out. Like I said, that's going down June 20th to the 23rd. Stampede kickoff is June 19th in downtown Wainwright. On top of that, you got the Edgerton Sports Days and Fair. That's happening from July 5th to July 7th. Now, that is 3 absolutely jam-packed days. They have so much going on. The Bull-A-Ram is Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, you got the Chuck Wagons and the Chariots. Plus, you're starting both those days with a pancake breakfast. It's going to be a great family event, so make sure you can get the family out there. Like I said, that's July 5th to the 7th. And then, of course, Irma Summer Spiel is going down July 30th to August 5th. Register your teams now for the slow pitch tournament, the curling, and all that fun stuff. That's another jam-packed event full of incredible things. This weekend, though, something you can attend with us is the Provost Splash and Smash. We're going to be there Saturday, so make sure you come say hi. Tickets are $10. It's an all-ages event, and they have so much going on. They've got motocross. They've got outlaw top trucks. They've got the Strongman Quad Wars, just to name a few of the things that are going on there. And we'll be there Saturday, like I mentioned. Once again, that's going down this weekend as another all-ages event. I'm Justin with Boom 1019 and 93.7 Wayne FM, and that's what's happening.
Furniture supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Today I am here at Home Hardware, and I'm joined here with Tracy. She is the perennial garden lead for Home Hardware, and today we're going to be talking about, you know, now that your garden, your annual planters are up and your seeds are in the ground, we're just going to be talking about, you know, what Home Hardware, what their garden has to offer, and what you can do to maybe spruce up your garden or hopefully keep them alive. So thank you for joining me today. So let's just first, I guess, we'll just start talking about all the different plants that we have on display right here.
Right, so now that everything's in the ground, it's good to have that time to work on our yards. And so I've got 3 different kinds of plants. On this side I have some that really like sun, so coneflowers are just coming into bloom. They're an amazing plant to have. We have so many ground covers that for sun and shade, and they're really great to just add some color and also just stop those weeds from coming up, because it gives you this natural way of covering the ground. And here we have some shade garden plants, and this is a ligularia, just spectacular. So it's our section of shade plants is getting bigger and bigger every year as they develop new varieties, so that's really exciting to me. And then on your side here we have some food plants. So we've got hardy cherries out of University of Saskatchewan. We've got the honeyberries. which are so tasty, kind of like a blueberry, but way easier to grow. So I love recommending those. And then another ground cover, strawberries, which again grows really easily and gives you fruit right away.
And with people, planting their own vegetables and, fruit like cherries and strawberries, what would you recommend to those people, maybe if they're their first time trying it out, to keep them growing and to keep them alive?
I really like to recommend mulching a garden. So whether it's something free like leaves that you would gather in the fall, or else just using some of the cedar mulch that's available. And it just helps keep the roots cool, keeps the moisture in, and really helps plants get established. And even for established perennials, everything loves mulch, helps them overwinter really well.
And for certain plants, like more delicate plants like peas or long viney ones, how can people protect them from, let's say, thunderstorms or like high-speed winds?
Yeah, that's always, sometimes you just have to send up a little wish that things don't get damaged. But at this point in the year, things are usually well enough established, but I guess, and it's about planning your garden too. Like, if something gets smooshed in a storm one year, that it maybe isn't the best spot, so you just have to try again the next year in a new spot.
And keeping, not just away from gardening, but your lawn care especially, that plays a big part in gardening. So what can people do to, get their garden or their lawn to be green again after the winter has, subsided?
Iron fortified fertilizers are really, really effective, actually really amazing at bringing the greenness up. And just don't cut our lawns too short. 3 to 4 inches is a really nice length so that it can maintain more moisture, so just don't cut it too short.
And people coming into the garden, if it's their first time or they're looking for something new, what can people expect when they come to this beautiful greenhouse?
Well, I think we have an amazing selection of all things, but there's lots of staff around, so just give a shout out, ask for help, and we do have our greenhouses labeled, but yeah, mostly just we love to interact with our customers, so hopefully you can find one of us and get your questions answered.
All right, well, thank you so much for showing me all these beautiful plants and telling a little bit about what Home Hardware does and what people can do to maintain their garden and their lawn for the summer. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Once again, we are back here where we've been talking with Just Cruising today about their show and shine and car rally that is again happening this weekend, June 15th. And now they do have a ton of fun stuff planned. They do have that alcohol dragster that should be firing up a few times over the day, and that should be pretty exciting. It's supposed to go fairly fast. They also do have their chassis dyno if you do want to test out that horsepower on your car and see if you can win some bragging rights amongst your buddies. So again, you can check that out as well. And now the registration does go in the morning before eventually moving on to the other events in the afternoon, and it is free again to enter if you do want to either participate or just come out and have a good time. All the proceeds from the day, they do have that charity barbecue, will be going towards the MS Society, so it's all for a good cause. They have a ton of stuff planned, again, that kids zone. So that's all from us here tonight. We're going to go back into the studio where Connor and Abby are going to wrap up tonight's news.
All right, thanks very much, Eric. Taking a look at regional temperatures once again for tomorrow here. 24 degrees for most of the region here, as well as 25. So 24 in Roston, Lloydminster, as well as out in Maidstone, Meadow Lake, Cold Lake, and Pierceland, along with St. Paul and Marwayne. 25s in Lac La Biche, Bonnyville, Vegreville, Edmonton, Wainwright. Provost Immaculate sitting at 26 degrees tomorrow. 23 degrees up in Isle of Cross, and 23 degrees for St. Walburg. So here is a look at the next 7 days. 24 degrees, as I mentioned, for tomorrow. 24 degrees also for Thursday, with a 61% chance that we could see some showers, possibly even a thunderstorm as well. 22 degrees on Friday with mostly clear skies and a bit of sun, mostly sunny skies, and a bit of clouds there. Going to 20 degrees on Saturday with a high of 20 degrees. I meant to say high of 68. That's not possible there. 68% chance of some showers there. 22 degrees on Sunday with mostly sunny skies and a few clouds there. 23 on Monday, where it gets much more cloudier there with a 55% 55% chance, and also a 56% chance on Tuesday with a high at 24. Usually our averages for this time of year averaging around 20 degrees for a daytime high, as well as averaging 8 degrees for the lows. We're kind of around the ballpark for terms of the low. Of course, we've seen 20s mostly across the board here, but we were expecting that amount of rain from, as I said yesterday, but we didn't quite see it. We saw little spurts of it earlier on in this hour, and then maybe and then possibly Thursday where we could see the main amount with thunder showers.
Yeah, I mean, it's been on and off for the past couple of weeks, which has been nice, and also, not so nice because you want it to be sunny all day, but it is nice that it's not just downpour every single day.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, that's going to do it for us this evening, folks. Thanks for watching. Have yourselves a great night.